Recognized to present the provisions of House Bill 3374. Senator Pemberton requests adoption of a committee substitute. Without objection, that will be the order. Senator Pemberton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 3374 authorizes the State Board of Education to assist in establishing community school pilot projects, and it's basically a may. They may be able to help if they choose to. Community school concept basically is a pilot program that employs staff to coordinate resources between schools and community partners to ensure student needs are being met. They conceptualize priorities of local control and connect by connecting parents and students with local community partners, and encourages efficiency in existing resources the community may have. And they can use those funds available through grants so the district does not incur additional expense. I ask do pass and yield for questions.
Second.
We have a do pass from Senator Pemberton, a second from Senator Hicks. Will there be questions? Senator Merrick, you are recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What would keep existing public schools from implementing these types of things?
Thank you for the question. They can implement those now. Matter of fact, I have toured a couple of these community schools that are in the Tulsa area. Matter of fact, last Friday I was at Choa Elementary School in Union. Have an outstanding program. They're doing that now. This basically would allow the State Department of Education to help fund some of those programs, because in those community schools they have community partner coordinators that help go out and make all the contacts and develop the programs with the partners. This will help pay for their salaries. And matter of fact, Choa has 2 of those. So it just allows them to find some funds. It may be federal funds, it may be state funds, to help them with some of the cost for developing these schools.
Follow up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On page 2, line 11, speaking of the science of hope,
right?
Could you explain that and why that is included as one of the minimal requirements?
Okay, thank you for the question. Basically, what we're wanting to do there is, one of the big supporters of this legislation is First Lady Sarah Stitt and her her program. And so therefore, we wanted to make sure that we provide the opportunity for her nonprofit foundation or any other that works with basically a nonprofit organization that uses the science of hope to improve classroom and campuses to do that training. So that allows that to open up for her organization or any other organization that's a nonprofit that also uses the science of hope.
Follow up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is this open to faith-based nonprofits as well?
Thank you. That's a great question. Matter of fact, when I was working Friday, when I was at Choa, they have they're partnered with Asbury Methodist Church. They're also partnered with 3434 Church. They come in and do volunteer work. They have night activities for the kids. So faith-based is very open to the schools that I visited with this.
Will there be additional questions? Senator Joanna Dossett for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And along the lines of the previous question, I have concerns about making it a shall, that these community schools will provide training from a particular type of nonprofit organization that uses the science of hope. This is incredibly specific language to be putting into statute. Can you help allay some of my concerns?
Thank you for the question. I think that we need to use that type of training, and so I don't have any answer other than to tell you I think that that's the way we need to go with it.
Follow up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you tell us more about the science of hope, please?
I think the science of hope, is the coordinator for that is out of the University of Oklahoma, Tulsa area, and he's done a lot of research with regarding to that. And I don't know if I may have brought that information with me. I don't think. Hold on a second. Yes, I do. The leadership training that would be done in collaboration with OU Tulsa's Hope Research Center, and that is PhD Chan Hellman, who puts that into effect. So, I mean, he's done years and years of research on what hope and how hope brings people to the top and gives them the opportunity in their heart to know that they can get above and beyond, some of the obstacles that they run in life. So I think it's very well documented, very well researched, and it's one of the major predictors of academic success. And it's been proven to increase grades, attendance, success in college, social relationships, lower incidence of negative behavior. And it's, I think Hope Rising is a very strong organization that can benefit these schools.
Follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one more. Can you talk to us about how many of these nonprofit organizations are active right now? With whom would we be contracting right now to provide this required training?
Thank you for the question. I'm not aware of how many.
Will there be additional questions? Senator Newhouse, you're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the NEA's tagline, if you could comment on this, says, "Community schools build equity for all students." Is this how you see this measure?
Would you please repeat that, Senator?
Yes. The NEA's tagline is that community schools build equity for all students. Is this your intent, or is this how you see things?
Thank you, Senator. I did not observe any of that in the schools that I observed. I know one's in your district that I was in on Friday. I did a lot of intensive looking in the classrooms, on the walls, in the brochures, in the library. I did not see those terms used anywhere. So I know there's a bunch of different concepts, community schools out there, but I don't think that it's the same concept schools that we're talking about here in Oklahoma.
Will there be additional questions? Seeing no additional questions, will there be debate? Senator Hicks, you are recognized for debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really appreciate the sincerity in this piece of legislation. I serve on a resiliency community organization for Putnam City School District and have observed the Science of Hope in action. I think knowing the obstacles, the adversity that our students are facing at critical ages of development means that if we don't use more of this kind of approach to building resiliency within our young people, particularly in the aftermath of the pandemic, then I'm really concerned. So I'm supportive of this bill, and I'm supportive of the concept in really trying to empower those local school districts to build stronger relationships within their communities, be it faith-based organizations, be it businesses in the local community. I think this is the kind of togetherness that we need in order to overcome the obstacles that our kiddos are facing. So I'm a yes today, and I appreciate the author for his hard work on this piece of legislation.
Will there be additional debate? Senator Merrick, you are recognized for debate.
I appreciate the concept and the concern for the holistic approach towards the children. I'm all in favor of this model, but more so as an approach more appropriate for private schools. I feel like this is drifting away from the requirements for government-funded schools, and I believe that as we do so, we're opening the door more and more for opportunities to infiltrate the learning system that we're actually trying to weed out of government-funded schools currently. And so I feel like we're opening that door more broad, opening it more widely for more and more things to come in that are outside the purview of government-funded schools. So for that reason, I'll be a no on this morning.
Will there be additional debate? Seeing no additional debate, Senator Pemberton, care to close?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much. I know several of you have got emails here the last day or so, probably a dozen or so, or half a dozen, that would try to push this as a model that's supporting left-wing ideology, I will tell you one thing. When I went to the schools to visit, I did not find Karl Marx hiding behind the hedges. I did not see it in the classroom. I did not see it in the hallways. I didn't see it among the kids. Matter of fact, what I saw was wraparound services and love and giving kids opportunities they didn't have. I think these schools really come into play in communities that have high poverty, that are Title I schools. Matter of fact, I think Union has 8 of them, and all 8 of them are Title I schools. They're using those funds to find those services. Over 50% of the students in the elementary that I was in are below the poverty level. About 50% of them speak English as a second language. These are kids that are they're behind the ball to start with. And most of them don't have health services, so what Union's been able to do is bring a health care provider onto the campus, onto their property. They built the health care facility on Union Public Schools property. They have a dentist because these kids do not have dental coverage. They have 4 mental health workers that work in the school. They provide students all the things that they need. And it's not the school that's decided to do this. If you look on page 2, under number 2, the comprehensive need assessment process that includes all the stakeholders, from word go, parents are the number one engagement. They came in and they brought parents in, they surveyed them, and they didn't just send surveys out. Having been an administrator, if you send surveys out, you may get 10 back. What they did is they brought the parents into the school site, and they did that by doing projects, activities, and providing food. That's one of the things I learned a long time ago in school business. I can send out, hey, we're going to overhaul the curriculum. I need parents up here. Get 10 show up. If I said we're having barbecue tonight, I have 200 show up. So what they did is they did that. They provided meals, they brought the community in, and they asked, first of all, to the parents, what do you want for your child? And they listed those, and that's what they did. Each one of these community schools in the Union District has a different focus. This one I went to has a workforce focus, putting kids through and getting them ready to go into work. They have a STEM elementary where the parents wanted STEM as number one. Every one of those has a focus, and the focus came from the parents. And then they developed the wraparound services to meet the needs of the parents. The parents at Ochoa said, we don't have anybody to keep our kids after school, so they developed an after school program. We need daycare in the day. They developed a daycare program. We have health concerns. They have a health clinic. We have dental concerns. If you know Maslow's hierarchy, if kids don't feel safe, if they're not well, if they're not fed, they don't learn. That is what we're trying to do. And I see Senator Stevens shaking his head as a counselor understands. If you're hungry, if you're in fear, if you don't have a place to sleep last night, you're not going to learn Algebra 1, or you're not going to learn biology. So what they do is try to provide all these services through community partners, and they're faith-based partners, and there's business partners, Quick Trip. I mean, you can go on. There's 40. I got a form here on the community schools. They have over 40 community partners, STEM, fine arts, health, youth development, academic, 100% no cost to the parents, over 8,662 hours of enrichment academic activities this last year. It goes on and on and on, and they list their partners. I could find nothing that shows this is leaning one way or the other, whether it be left or right. Basically, all we're concerned about is kids, right down the middle. So, and don't think I didn't walk through the library and look at the books. And don't think I didn't check the walls. We went into all the classrooms. We looked, nothing was hid from us. And I know Representative West, she went down to Texas and viewed one of the community schools down there, said the same thing. Matter of fact, you know what states have the most community schools? Florida and Kentucky, 2 of the reddest states in the Union. So don't tell me that these are leaning any one direction or the other. So you're seeing them pop up around the country. They're not associated with an ideology. They're associated with what do we need to make kids successful and get these kids academically where they need to be, prepare them to go to college or to the workforce, and make sure that these young people become active citizens in this country, pay their taxes, work hard, and we don't have to take care of them in the future. So I ask for your vote.